Hey everybody, it's Rachel with Rachel Q Stitches and welcome to my channel. Today is Tuesday, February 1st, 2022, and this is FlossTube number 49. Thank you so much for stopping by. If this is your first time here, you have stumbled upon my channel. This is mostly about cross stitch. I might throw in some other stitchy crafts such as quilting or something else I might be getting into, but for the most part it is cross stitch, and today it is all cross stitch. For those of you returning, thank you so much for coming back. I appreciate you coming back every week and appreciate your comments. I appreciate your likes and all that good stuff. So what have I been stitching this week? This has been an interesting week. We're still planning on getting my son moved here, and so we are cleaning out rooms, which is why I'm in this room and not my sewing room. I'm back here because things got put on my sewing table and I didn't feel like cleaning them off just yet. So that is what is going on and why I'm back in here. But I don't mind. We move things around. We are officially turning our dining room into an office, which, you know, it pretty much was anyway. So we just decided to turn it into an office, and I'm going to see if I can get me a little stitchy chair maybe stuck in here. So we'll see. I think it's going to turn out for the good. But anyway, so I'm back in the dining room / office. Okay, what have I been stitching on? Well, first I finished my Erica Michaels ABC stitch along that I am doing. I'm doing this with Shelly at Proverbs3122. She and I are doing this together. And this is what I have. This is the Nightingale stitch. No, this is the Nightingale and the Norwich stitch. I am doing all of these on 28 count even weave. Most of it is just mystery that has been stuck in my stash or that I got at thrift stores. So I'm also using thrift store floss and inherited floss. So it's not DMC, it's usually Anchor or Paraluster, or I have some Bucilla in there, some JP Coats. So it's just kind of a variety of different kinds of floss. So this is what I'm doing. So here you have, these are the Norwich stitches right here. I did miscount them, but I think they still came out kind of cute. So that's them right there. So that is this, and that means today I will be starting O, which is owl and oblong something stitch. So I'll be working on that, probably starting either today or tomorrow. I'm going to start that. Getting close. We only have 10 blocks left, so I'm kind of excited about that. Trying to figure out what I'm going to start up next after that. But I've been enjoying learning the new stitches. In fact, I was stitching on something I'm about to show y'all, and I was so excited that I had the confidence to do the specialty stitches, and that's one of the reasons why I'm doing these. So the next one is my Family Pew. This is a commissioned piece by StitchinMommy. It is based on a family pew that we have at a local Catholic church here. Thibodeau and Picard were my mom's parents. Her dad was a Thibodeau, her mom was a Picard, and they were married in 1938 when she was 16 and he was 27. I laugh at that because I think, you know, now we would just be, oh, back then it was no big deal. But anyway, they had a great marriage. They were married until he died in 1973. So it was amazing. Anyway, so this is the whole thing right here. And I worked on this right here. And you know, it's so funny, when I am up stitching it, I do not see all this detail. But when I hold it up for the camera, I see it. So I'm very confident that when it is framed, you'll be able to see the detail of the oak leaves. But this is what I got done. Basically, I'm kind of doing, StitchinMommy, who charted this for me, talks about picking a color and just going down and stitching it. So this was all on one page. And so basically I would just choose a color and stitch it, and choose a color and stitch it. And so that's just how I've just been dealing with all the golds and tans and whatnot. So I am excited about this piece. I just have, let me see, there's a oak leaf, a lion right here, and then the rest of the shield, the coat of arms. So I am excited about that. And I am stitching that on, y'all, I have notes so that I can tell y'all everything I'm doing. I'm stitching this on 25 count chocolate. It's this white guard, 25 count chocolate with a call for DMC that StitchinMommy put in there for me. So that is my Tip-It-O piece. Okay, this next piece, I think I moved away from that on my iPad, so let me pull it up. Okay, I am not going to attempt to pronounce this. I keep saying I'm going to look it up and listen to the pronunciation, but this is Castle in, I believe, Germany. Before was Bavaria, maybe. Anyway, this is it right here. This is my full coverage piece. I'm stitching this on 28 count even weave 1/1. I know. I don't know why I'm doing this, but anyway, I got 260 stitches in this week, and here's my progress. I start in the lower right. Hold up, bottom right, bottom, yeah, okay, I'll start in the bottom right, right here. So this is what I've gotten done. I was actually able to finish 2 whole squares. That was exciting. The grids are helping me. The grids are really, really helping me, and I understand now why people grid their fabric, but cannot be trusted gridding my own fabric. I did it once and I messed up the counting. So this is what I've done. This is a combination of a bunch of greens, grays, and 310. Doesn't look like much, but I'm excited. It's nice seeing it on Pattern Keeper, getting filled in and everything. So that's pretty cool. I do have to say right now I'm using a very old Kindle, and that Kindle does not hold a charge for very long. And with the way our living room is set up, my sofa is in the middle of the room, so there's no plugs. So I need to get my power block charged up and ready to go so that I can just keep my Kindle charged in there. So I'm an iPad person, I'm an iPhone person, I have Apple computers, I am an Apple girl. So I am struggling with maybe having to get a cheap Android. There are a lot of people on the Pattern Keeper group that use just a cheap Android, and they love it. So I don't know. A lot of them are Apple girls, and they're like, because they don't want to buy, an expensive Android tablet. So I might look into that, maybe ask for one for my birthday. But I'm really enjoying using Pattern Keeper, and I'd like to try it on something that's not full coverage, because it's really, really helpful. And, just, I want this color. Because, you ever stitch, you stitch and stitch and stitch, and then you get to the thing and you're missing a color, and you got to try to figure out which one it is. That's what's really neat about Pattern Keeper, is that, you click a color and they all highlight in that color. So that's pretty cool. I'm going to put you on pause. Hold on. Okay, I'm back. Anyway, so that is my issue with Pattern Keeper. I love it. Like I said, I love it. I just they either need to go to Apple, or I need to get a cheap Android. So anyway, we'll see. All right. The next thing, Christmas garden. This is in the Home for Holidays book. I am stitching this, the Contented Stitcher, Kim, is doing this along with It's Just Cross Stitch. I need to write this down. KX Stitch. She's no longer KX Stitch on YouTube, but she is on Instagram. So I think Kim's done with hers. So I'm just, trucking along. I try to work on it every week. This is where I'm at right here. So last time I showed it to you, I was all excited because I was starting the the middle third. And then when I picked it up, I realized that I hadn't stitched these 2 bouquets. So that's what I'm doing. That's what I did. So now I am officially done with the top third. So I'm gonna move my way to the middle third next time I work on it. And then I have decided that I am going to put our last name and all of our initials in it. So this is it right here. This is done on 28 count mushroom. And I am using the DMC conversion that is in the book. And it is using blended threads, which are pretty cool. So that is Christmas Garden. I now understand why Kim and so many other people stitch on 40 count, because it's smaller. You don't have as much fabric to wrangle, and framing's cheaper. So anyway, so I am venturing into higher counts, and I'm going to talk about that in a little bit. And so, yeah, it's really kind of interesting. It's really neat. I'm enjoying it more than I thought I would. Okay, Prairie Schooler Santas. And I didn't bring my chart, y'all. Please forgive me. This is the 2004 Cross Stitch Santa. I am doing him on Davos with Call for DMC, except for his face. My daughter chose the color 435 for his face. So now I need to have one of my other kids choose another face color, skin tone. So I didn't get him done in January. I was hoping to have one done in January, but he's so close, so very close. So I'm going to finish him up. I am not thrilled with this fabric. I still don't like it. I don't know. At first I was like, well, I'm going to stitch them all on this because I have it. I don't know. I can't use the sewing method. So I have to, when I start it, I have to remember that I have to not use the sewing method. It's 18 count, but it's really like a 9 count even weave, if you know what I mean. That's how it, like with Ada, I don't have a problem with my stitches slipping under, you know, the little little square, and they slip under here all the time. And so I have to fix them. So it's kind of annoying, but other than that, he is almost done. So I might work on him this week and try to get him done by Sunday. I don't know yet. Merritt Crawford, you're going to be disappointed in me. So Merritt Crawford, she's not going to be disappointed in me. Merritt Crawford and the Contented Stitcher are doing a stocking stitch along, and I decided to be a third wheel in this and join them. I know a lot of other people are joining them. And so I finished the first stocking, and I was looking at it saying, boy, that little part right there looks like it's too low. It is. So either I'm going to make a copy of the actual pattern and see if there's a way I can adjust it, or I might just rip it out and restitch it where it's supposed to go. It's too low. So I don't know yet what I'm going to do. I was so ready to say I finished it in January. And then I noticed it when I was getting it ready for today's video. I looked at it and I was like, that's wrong. That is so wrong. Anyway, I don't know what I'm going to do yet. What would y'all do? Would y'all make the stocking bigger, or would you rip it out and restitch it? Let me know in the comments below what you would do. This is stitched on 32 count lamb's wool Jobelin, and I am using, I didn't bring it, but I'm using Sulky Petites, and it is color number 4042. It's a variegated, or I can't think of what they call them, but so here's the thing. I'm enjoying stitching on 32 using one strand of the Sulky. That's really, I like the look of the one strand. I don't have to railroad it. It's really nice. That's what I was saying. I see people that stitch on 40, and I understand now why. You don't have to worry about railroading. You don't have to worry about your stitches not looking good. They lay flat. They look so pretty. So I am going to buy some 36 count, and I think I have some actually, and some 40 count, and see if I can stitch on that. I use readers anyway. I wear contacts. I have one to see far and one to see close, but I still have to use readers to stitch. And so I bought some 2.5s. I just use 1+1s now, so I bought some +2.5, and I'm going to see how that works. But but I'm enjoying the one strand. So now I see why people stitch on a higher count, because of the one strand. Anyway, so that was my stitching. So on to WIPGO. I finished all my goals for January in WIPGO. So the new numbers were called, and pandemic was called again. I was so excited. I do have it on there like 7 or 8 times, so I'm sure it's going to get called, you know, if not, well, not every month, but, you know, often. And then Ironwork Gate was called. And if y'all remember, Ironwork Gate is a piece that I bought at a local creative reuse store. It was on some scroll rods, and I took them off because I stitch in hand. And so this is what somebody else had done, and it was left on the scroll rods with thread still hanging from it. So I put out an appeal on, I think it was Stitching 911, and on Instagram, and I kid you not, within 5 minutes I had an answer to what chart it is. It is Ironwork Gate by Barbara and Cheryl. In fact, Michelle, I believe, Michelle Romatic Tangle, she stitched it. And so I was so thrilled when I saw hers. So this part is stitched right here, and this little part is what they were working on last. So I'm going to pull the flosses to go ahead and try to finish this top part and maybe work my way up. So I have to work on it 4 days. So I do need to kit it up. I've not done that yet. And so that is what I'm going to work on 4 days a month. That is my WIPGO goal. And so Pandemic will get 4 days, and Ironwork Gate will get 4 days. And so hopefully I can see some progress in both of those. I saw a lot of progress for Pandemic. It just went really, really, really good. So anyway, so like I said, I finished my goal for January, and I'm so very excited that I got it done. I think it's, you know, and I did switch one. You know, I was working on the Paula Vaughn piece that I retired, and I added Christmas Garden, because I will be starting another Blackbird next weekend for the first Blackbird weekend. Although that's the weekend my son's moving back, so I don't know how much I'll get done. I might just get a few stitches in, but I do plan on starting a new one. Okay, Winter Cross Stitch Camp. I am participating in Winter Cross Stitch Camp. I posted my photos, so if you've already seen it, you know what it is. And essentially what I'm doing is I am working on stocking 2. My heart is home. So this is stocking 2. This will be count for my stocking stitch along, and this will also count for cross stitch camp. And I'm doing it on the same 32 count Jobelan. I just bought some pieces that were about the size, and I'm using this Sulky floss, and it is in color 4007, right there. So that is what I'm working on. So I'm excited about that, getting that done. This one, what I've started to do is I put in 1 red stitch every morning. And I have to watch because I'm so used to using 2 and looping. I cut these, you know, yard long pieces of thread floss, and it's so long and it gets a lot done. But so I need to remember, you know, like half my arm, not my whole arm. I need to cut it, but this is what I'm using. So I'm excited about getting that one started and participating in cross stitch camp. I was on the group during the summer, but I don't know, I just didn't do any of it. So anyway, so that's what I'm doing for cross stitch camp. And y'all, I did not tell y'all last week, I finished my video and I was like, I'm doing the Narnia stitch along. It's the Chronicles of Narnia stitch along. From what I can tell, we're just reading the first book. So it's The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. So I don't know if there's any way that she's incorporating the other books into it. I have read all of them and loved every single one of them. My least favorite was my mom's favorite, and that's A Horse and His Boy. I loved The Magician's Nephew. That was my favorite of all the books. But, you know, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe is just, you know, fantastic. But anyway, so this, I think I am going to be listening to these again instead of reading. And so I got in. She had a limited number of charts. I think she might still have a couple left. but the first half went really fast. And so I'm glad I'm glad that they added, they allowed her to do more charts, because it is approved by the C.S. Lewis, whatever, foundation. So I'm glad they approved more charts and that more people were able to get in. In fact, I have a friend here in town, and I knew she cross-stitched, and we were going to our Bible class on Saturdays that we do. And she and I were talking, and she said, I need your opinion about a cross-stitch piece I'm working on. She pulled out her Android phone and pulls up Pattern Keeper. I'm like, you're like really a cross-stitch. I mean, like, you know, so she was showing me and we were talking about it. Well, she texted me a day or two after the Narnia sale came out, and she's like, hey, I'm doing my first stitch along. She goes, I need to know where to find some opal fabric. I'm like, oh, you're doing Narnia. So we're doing it. We're both doing it. So that's going to be exciting. It's exciting to find someone local. She's got smaller kids, so getting out of the house isn't as easy, but it is nice knowing that there is somebody else that cross stitches that I know. So that was fun. Anyway, and I have decided not, let me see. Not to do Heartfelt. I'm not totally thrilled with the pattern. I pulled the colors. I tried to substitute colors, and I don't know. My heart wasn't into it. So I'm not going to be doing Heartfelt. I will download the patterns. I do like some of the hearts that are in it, but the pattern overall just didn't do anything for me. So I will not be participating in the Heartfelt stitch along. Just update y'all on that. And then yesterday I dyed some fabric. I haven't been working on my Sunday stitches, the hems that I had been working on, mainly because I do it on 16 count or 32 count. But I needed some fabric. And so I had some 16 count that was just white. I needed to dye it, and I just needed to get up and do it. It took me maybe 20 minutes to dye it. So I filled up my container with hot water, and I added tan and the dark gray. I can't think of what it's called. I added those together, and I basically put it in a container, and I just kind of spoon it over. So this is the first one that I did right here. It's a little bit more gray than I wanted, but I think I can still use it, especially like this part of it. I really like it. If you don't know, the Sunday stitches, the wording is in a like kind of a gray and sometimes a navy, so I'll just have to pay attention to that where I put it. So that is the first one. Then the second one, I watered it down because I thought it was too dark. Now, it does dry lighter, you know, but it was very dark. To me, it was dark. And so this is the second one that was diluted. And like I said, I just spoon it over and then squish it up, then spoon it over. And I hang it up to dry. This last one I did stick in the oven, but I just hang them up to dry and then I'll iron them. So that's it right there. And then the third one, because I thought it was too gray, I said, let's add some orange and see what happens. And this is what came out. I love this color. This is very pretty. So again, I need to dye some more. I have a huge piece of 18 count Aida that I need to work on, but there it is. So that's what I did. So that is all. That's all I have. And like I said, family news. My son and his fiance are moving down here, so we're rearranging some rooms. My grand dog is coming. I'm so excited. And that's about it. You know, not a whole lot going on. My middle son's been traveling with school, and my daughter is, you know, settling into her apartment life, learning how to budget. All the good adulty things that you need to learn. And so that's pretty much it. That's all that's going on. Thank y'all so much for joining me today. I really, really appreciate it. And my notes did keep me, I feel like, from babbling a little bit too much. Kind of remembered to tell y'all what I was stitching on and what I was using. But Anyway, thank y'all so much. I really appreciate y'all, and I will see y'all next week, Lord willing. God bless.